Good morning. Sawatdee ton chao. I hope everyone is doing well. I am. And today we have a couple of subjects I'm going to go over. Let's see here. One of which is I do like living in Thailand, and it is not a paradise. And that's the thing. You're allowed to call out the bullshit in Thailand or wherever you may be and still speak well of the place where you live. And I want to get that clear. I want to get it across because I've got a couple of comments recently, and I've got a couple of things going on that uh, I want to talk about. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's just get right into it here. Now, I saw a video, and it was this morning, early this morning. You know, I wake up. Oh, I woke up about 4:30 this morning, but I really rolled out of bed around 5. And I saw this video from a guy who's been living in Thailand, or at least he's been online on YouTube for about 6 months. He says he lives in Bangkok. I'm like, oh, okay, good. Another guy living, he's a fairly young guy. And I'm like, oh, another guy living in Bangkok. Okay, whatever. An American. But there are very distinct differences between people who come here to visit and who are long-term expats like me, and those who are transitioning into living here full time, or they may not stay long term. There are some very, very distinct differences. And, when 7-Eleven is your main source of food, maybe you buy fruit and the chemical laden rice and noodles and meat dishes. When you are living in what amounts to a shoebox, and when your medical insurance is travel insurance, when you don't cook, when you never cook, now some people never cook, but most of the time, the people that are not really living here, they don't cook. Uh, and when you're eating nothing but Thai food because it's cheaper, it's the cheapest way to go. When you're calculating how much do you spend every day, then you are not an expat. You are in transition, and you may or you may not stay here long term. And everyone has their own way of living, and they can live off as little or as much as they want to or have the ability to. I think some people who are living here for dirt cheap are living here for dirt cheap because they have to. Most people don't want to live off of, say, $750 a month or even $1,000 a month. Now, the people who have money in the bank and they're living off $1,000 a month. I mean, listen, if I was living in the south of Thailand in our house down in the south, uh, I could probably get by on 1,000. We could probably get by on $1,000 a month. We just spend money on food, almost nothing on electricity. We don't have a house payment. We don't have a land payment. We don't have any payments at all. So anything that would be spent would probably be for food, and that would be about it. Food, maybe some gas, and we have a truck, uh, but that's paid for. So maybe we pay for some gas in the insurance. Now, okay, $1,000. There's four of us. Let's say $2,000. Yeah, you can do that. But the whole thing was that this particular guy didn't understand why people say that Thailand is getting more expensive. And living off of rice and fried chicken or whatever it may be, that's not really living. Okay, Thais can do this, Thais do that. That's because they love their food. Now you can say, oh, I love Thai food. It's so great. I have yet to meet somebody who's been here for 10, 20, 30 years who says, I only eat Thai food. They eat all kinds of food, just like they were back in America or Australia or England, wherever. They eat Western food, they eat Japanese food, they eat Vietnamese food, they eat an assortment of foods. So I've yet to meet anybody who does nothing but eat Thai food all the time. Okay, for the first year or two, okay, I'll give you that. You may do that. But it was his cost of living report that really got to me because he didn't include his visa. He didn't include, which I don't know what it is, but I'm going to say it's the 2 month, then 1 month. So he's not even sure he's going to be living here. I don't know. Supposedly, he says he has money. Uh, no eye doctor, no dental bills, no regular checkups, no miscellaneous expenses, no mobile bill. He didn't talk about that. Didn't talk about the internet. And that's not really a cost of living report. That's a cost per day to visits. So when people say, is Thailand getting expensive? It is more expensive than it was in the past, but it is not as expensive as many places in the Western world. But if you go to the Midwest, I'm sure there's places where you would have a comparable lifestyle for what you're living off of here if you're living off of dirt cheap. So his claim is that it's not really expensive in Thailand. But yet I would say he's not really living here. He says he lives in this apartment. It's a shoebox, basically, that he got off. I think it was off Airbnb, $190 a month. Well, I live in a townhouse that's $20 more, and I've lived here for years. And we lived in a house that was $190 a month, and that was a three-bedroom house. So okay, whatever. He doesn't know where to go. He doesn't want to do it. He wants to live in an apartment, whatever the reason may be. But what I'm saying is when you look at it, I'm somebody who's lived here. I do live here. This is my home, and I like it here, contrary to what some people would like to believe. And I'm going to get into that a little bit more shortly. But, we could easily go and buy a house, you know, 6, 7, 8 million baht. We could do it. And we'd have a very nice house. We came close to pulling the trigger one time, and I really liked that house. It was 7 million baht, and the payments were about 40,000 a month. But we were too slow. We were thinking about it, and in the end, I'm glad we didn't buy that house. It would have been a great house. It was a little bit far from some things. Would have taken us some time to get around. But to be honest, I don't really want to go out as much. I'm more of a homebody now than I ever have been. And I do that for multiple reasons. One is to not spend that much money. Two is I don't really want to go out. I'm comfortable at home. So maybe he's comfortable. He walks downstairs, he goes to 7-Eleven, he buys his packaged food. He loves it. Okay, that's great. Good for you. But Thailand is getting more expensive. It is more expensive here. Now, granted, you can live in a place that, like we lived in that house, it was 6,000 baht a month for 10 years. We never paid more. It didn't go up. We've lived here for years. The price is not going to go up. She's not going to ask us, hey, pay 8,500 baht now. It's not going to happen. Okay. So some things don't go up, but the food has definitely gone up. Food prices have gone up. No, I mean, without a doubt. I mean, I used to buy bacon just a year ago, 2 years ago, for 229 baht. Now it's 275 baht. That's about a 20% increase. Okay, 18%, something like that. We could live in a high rise if we wanted. We're going to spend 20, 30, 35,000. And I know many people that live in these kind of places, and that's okay, good on them. They don't have a problem. Whatever, it's your money, you can spend on whatever you want. But I can tell you that there are differences between the people as I talk about them. People like me who is an expat. You can call me an immigrant. I don't really care. I didn't come here to work. I didn't come here because I thought, oh, I'm going to find a better life working in Thailand, and I'm going to live here forever. No, I came here as an expat, and I just ended up staying here for a long time. you can say whatever you want. I don't really care. But for somebody who just comes here and he claims to live here, Thailand is getting more expensive, and relative to its own past and relative to the cheap paradise myth that is consistently going around, well, it is more expensive. Food and a lot of other things. Taxis are more expensive. Taxis are going to be going up in the near future, or at least they proposed it, and maybe they will. I don't know. But it hasn't yet crossed into the unaffordable city threshold for most people. Unaffordable, just like a Western city. And yes, it is more expensive than the cheap tourist myth, but it's very doable if you budget and are smart and you adapt. Thank Buddha for this. Um, Now, according to one cost of living index, a single person's monthly cost in Thailand, excluding rent, is approximately $620 as of 2025. So let's say that you spend $600 on the rent, $1,220. Okay. Uh, Housing and lifestyle expectations are rising. Prime condos, imported goods, Western standard amenities now cost significantly more. I can tell you I've been shopping in some places, and if you buy the Chinese brand or the Thai brand, they're quite a bit less than the Western brand. But for someone coming into Thailand expecting first world wages and cheap costs, there is a disappointment there. And for someone who adapts to the local cost levels, then the country is relatively competitive, but the gap between expectation and reality is greater than it was in the past. And what I would say is, if you want to, I have a friend here now, and he decided he wants to come for about a year. He wants to rent a place, and he doesn't mind signing a lease or doing any of these things. And if he has to lose a couple of months, then he wants to do it. But he would rather not get a retirement visa because he doesn't want to live here forever. And that makes things a little bit difficult. I think I said this the other day, but he wants to get a SIM card here. Now he has SIM cards back home and they're all expired. So get a new SIM card, right? Get a new number. They say to him, "Oh, well, you got to have your passport." Well, that is standard. You got to have your passport when you're going to get a SIM card. He told me he got it. Great. He's not postpaid, he's prepaid. So every month he has to make sure he puts money on the phone. And okay, maybe that's not that big of a hassle, but it's one thing. Now they may ask, what kind of visa do you have when he goes to rent a place? They kill it. Most places don't care. They just say, give me the money. We want to rent this place. Okay. Um, and he is still in the mode of, I can't believe it. It's only, he's like, well, here it's 60 baht to eat, and across the street, it's double. I said, well, you're in the mall. Across the street, you're not really in the mall. It's a local food court. And actually, if you really look around, there are other cheaper places, but most of the time, he does not go by the lowest price. It's by convenience, it's by quality, and it's by, uh, it's convenience and quality for the most part. Value, the overall value. I need some water. Hey, Nikki, can you get me a water, please? So I don't have to get up and get it. Not that it's all that far, but Nikki's not really doing anything. Did you finish eating? Okay. Was it good? Oh, I already had my coffee this morning. Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir. I got a water. Fire dude, what's happening? And what is kind of funny on this channel is that I have a fair amount of viewers from Thailand. They like to watch for some reason. Fire dudes in Thailand. Uh, there's a lot of people that watch. They're in Thailand. Now, they don't need to gain information from me most of the time. Well, there you go. Twins will do that. Um, I think it's because I speak straight. I don't bullshit around. And, I'm not trying to do that. That's just me. Okay. So if you want to know me, that is me. All right. Now, let me get into this a little bit here. But anyway, what I was going to say is that when you're transitioning here, when you are not fully here, when you are not entrenched in, okay, I live here, I've lived here for a long time. Now I can say, hey, a few more months, I can say, I've been living here half my life. That's a lot. That never. Only for, I think for, what was it? Oh, for my kids, I had to use it. But other than that, no, not that I remember. Now, one of the reasons that I'm talking about this is because I do live here and I want to live here. I like living here. Now, I may live somewhere else also, and we are going to check that out. And we have been talking about Greece and Italy. And now, after conversing with someone, I'm also considering Spain. We're thinking about going to Spain for 3-4 weeks and then going to America for a week or two. So I'm not sure what we're going to do, but this is in a few months, might be 5-6 months. But we want to go somewhere else. We want to check it out. We want to kind of think about it, and see what we can do. But that's neither here nor there right now. Okay. Um, so, if you are someone who lives here, it's kind of, you live here. You are as close to being one of them as you're going to get. And I will never be one of them. I can tell you that. I will never be Thai. And you will never be Thai, ever. I don't care how good you speak the language. It doesn't matter. Okay. With your rent so low and you not having a car, your family monthly budget must be low. Is your biggest expense food? What's your average monthly spend? You're always asking these rather personal questions, Ben. Good evening, Johnny, which is, you know, kind of the norm. Uh, I would say, I would say our savings is the highest expense. And then I would say, I like living here, married 27 years. Yeah, that's about what I've been married to. Um, but behind that, I would say it's probably food. Hey, Dean, how you doing? It's probably food, uh, maybe insurance. Um, yeah, I don't want to be Thai. That's the whole thing. I am who I am, and I'm fine with it. Now, let me read you something from someone, and he was either a troll. And usually the trolls and the dumbasses, they just don't ever respond to your comment. And I just don't comment most of the time. But I thought on the off chance that this guy is actually legitimate, which I'm not sure that he is. Um, I'm going to respond because I have a rather good response for him. Now, here's a nice one that I like right here. Because I said Thailand wants your money, not you, which is true. This video has got a lot of controversy to it because some people, they can't handle that. Now, listen, I got news for you. If you go to Australia and you're a tourist, they want your money. They don't necessarily want you to migrate there. They don't necessarily want you to live there. They don't necessarily want you here all the time because the tourists are the ones who are spending money. Then they go home. They're not a drain on society. So when they get all these tourists coming in, any place that gets tourists, they don't care about Scott Mallon. Oh, hi, Scott. How are you? How's your life? How's everything? You're married? Oh, wow. They don't care about that. They care about you are number 480 coming through the immigration line today. That's it. That's all they care about. They don't give a shit about you. Do you really think they care about you? No, the people in the government are looking at the masses as numbers. It's a game. That's all it is. Okay. Now, this guy says your country also doesn't want foreigners or immigrants. Why do you talking about Thailand? You better go home. Like, yeah, I'm going to go home because you tell me to. I've been here almost 32 years, 31 years now. So almost half my life. Now I'm going to go home because you tell me to? Oh, Jesus Christ. And I think this guy's Chinese, which makes it even worse. But I wanted to read this. I wanted to read this comment that I got because it is, pretty telling about how some people can think. So he says, let's get something straight right now. Every week I see comments like, why do you even live there if you hate Thailand so much, or you're always complaining. Wait a minute, let me see here. What is this? Let me see. I'm sorry, maybe I screwed up. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Viewer comment. I mean, you are a blue-eyed white-skinned man. How much one of them are you going to be? I won't be. I never will be. Even if you try. Do you speak their language 100%? I don't know about 100%, but I speak it pretty well and I can get around very easily. I don't need anybody with me. I can read the language and I can speak the language well enough. I don't speak like Pigeon Thai. So there you go. You don't know what you're talking about when it comes to this. I doubt it, but you said 30 years you've lived there. Not only the language, but did you forget you were going to a third world country? Well, let me just read this. My response here because I wrote it out. First off, I've lived here longer than most of these clowns have been alive. That's clowns like you. I didn't come here to be a Thai. I came here because I like it here. I speak the language, I handle my business, and I built a life. That's the thing. I have a wife and 2 kids. My kid is almost 25 years old. Come on. And you think you call me white is some kind of revelation? I mean, what are you showing people? I'm white. Okay. I don't make apologies for it. I am what I am. Thailand is not a third world shithole like you think. It's a developing nation that has outpaced half the so-called civilized world. And there is better and more modern infrastructure and hospitals than what some Americans can afford, and a culture here that still values respect. And meanwhile, a lot of the first world is busy collapsing under its own arrogance and entitlement. All those entitled Americans. Now, Thailand has never been a third world country. So if you are one of these morons, and that's the thing, a lot of people don't know that, and it's not because they're a moron, it's just because they think that's what it used to be. That term came from the Cold War when nations were divided up into 3 groups. The US-led capital bloc, First World, the Soviet Communist bloc, Second World, and then everyone else was lumped into Third World. Thailand was actually a U.S. ally. It hosted American air bases during the Vietnam War, which puts it squarely in the First World camp by that definition. Now, economically, it is a developing nation, not a destitute one. It was industrialized decades ago. It built up a massive manufacturing sector, and today it's classified as a upper middle income economy by the World Bank, dummy. It's got a very solid infrastructure. In fact, in some places, it's better than in the United States. It has a strong export market. Now, tourism, About 20%. I'll give you that. Okay, great. Universal health care. They have health care here. There is a life expectancy that beats a lot of the so-called first world countries. So no, Thailand has never been a third world nation. It's developing, improving, and while it is imperfect, but the third world label is just ignorant and outdated. And the truth is that people like you who are commenting right now, you probably couldn't last 6 months here without crying about every little thing, the heat, the rules, the culture, the people. You wouldn't make it because Thailand demands a little humility and a lot of self-reliance, two things that a lot of critics don't often have. You say Thais only want foreigners' money. Bullshit. You only really get taken advantage of if you are acting like an idiot, if you are stupid. You walk around waving money, being rude, acting superior, and yeah, someone's going to lighten your wallet. That's not Thailand's fault. That's Darwin. Now you say I should go home, buddy. I am home. I've been here, like I said, almost half my life. When I can say that, believe me, I'm going to use it. I've been here more than half my life. And I'm an old man. I'm getting up there now. So, take that into consideration. Um, I've raised a family. I have paid taxes here. I have lived through coups, floods, visa changes, the pandemic. This is my life here, not your little fantasy or your bitter little outsider rant. So my advice is before people lecture me, and you are not the only person, there is not only one comment, but I've had several comments about telling me how I shouldn't be speaking. Listen, fuck you. I can speak whenever I want. I have the freedom to speak. I can speak. I know where to check myself. I know what is improper, what is rude, what is not. I don't generally do that because I don't want to make anybody angry. I don't want to piss people off. I don't want to get on their bad side. For what? I have nothing to gain by it. However, when I feel that something is a certain way, when I feel that Thailand is my home, and it is, I will say that. I will speak up. Um, Maybe you should try living in another country. Maybe you should get out of your mama's basement, learn another language, build a life somewhere, and then come back and talk to me like a man instead of hiding behind emojis and your half-baked stereotypes. Because from where I'm sitting, Thailand is doing just fine. I'm just fine here. I love it here. It's great. I have a life I would have never even thought I would have. And it's you that's stuck in your third world thinking who seems to have the problem. And that's the thing. Most of the people that are writing me that have these there's a few. It doesn't happen all the time. Most of the time, 90% of the comments are really good and nice and decent. And they may disagree with me, and that's okay. You can disagree, but you don't have to call me all these names and say this and that and tell me, oh, you're miserable. What did he say here? He said, let me see. Hang on a second here. Let's see here. Of course, all they want is your money. It's a poor nation who relies on tourism and outside sources of income and money. The Westerners taught these people how to be greedy, selfish, and hostile. If I remember, there is so much human trafficking going on due to outsider creeps, white men and black Americans, and Europeans, Australians, Canadians, all at once exploiting children and families with money. Well, I would say, listen, what you don't really know is that this has been going on before they even let people into their country. That stuff happened decades, hundreds of years ago. We were not the ones who started it. Okay. My advice to you, sir, is to go home or go to Europe. I know it's expensive, but what's the point of living your last days miserable like this? Now, Yes, I'm on a stream. I'm kind of, well, I am what I am. And most people who know me know that I'm a realist. I tell it like I see it. I'm not always right, but I'm definitely not miserable. There are times every once in a while where I go, shit, what am I going to do? I need to do something else. Hey, I got to go here. I want to go somewhere else. That's not miserable. That's just me coming up with ideas. I don't like to be bored. So I'm always coming up with ideas so I can be doing stuff. But I'm not miserable by any means. And that's what's so funny. You're miserable. Go home. I am home, idiot. You know what's funny? Every time someone with zero experience wants to sound smart, they pull the same tired crap. You're white, you'll never be one of them. Thailand's a third world country. Go home. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Anyway, this was the guy's comment. Now let me take a look here. Hang on a second. Let's see. Same. Hey, Scott from Chowder. I've been here 8 years. Blah blah blah. Chowderheads. Hey, Dean Bateman. I used to live in Boulder City. Da 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 da. Only thing I don't like is cost of health insurance. It's significantly more than my home country, but medical care here is better. Um, well, it's not more for me. That's what I'll say. I mean, because in the United States, it's pretty expensive, but I do have VA coverage in the United States, full coverage. So anytime I go to the United States, if I need to be seen, I can go to the VA as long as I can get in there, do it in a timely manner. Thailand is cheap, not as cheap as it was, but it's still cheap. Yes, it is. But just lived north of Bangkok. I lived on tourist visas between Thailand, Laos, Cambodia. I never got bored with one place. Okay, well, I don't want to live that way. But, granted, I'm different than you. I got a family. I don't want to be away from them. I don't want to be dragging them everywhere. I mean, my kids got school, they got work. What am I supposed to do? One of them's got to work. He wants to work. He wants to make money. He's socking the money away. The other one's going to school. He's got like a year left. That's it. I don't know. It might be a year and a half. I'm not sure. Anyway, he's got to go to school. My wife's got a job. She loves her job. She makes great money. She doesn't want to stop working unless there's a replacement that's going to be as good or better. We want to go to Spain. Hey, she can go for a month, month and a half, live in Spain, work from Spain. She can do it. Great, Hey, Gabe, I just visited the Hoover Dam. Okay. I'll tell you, I've been to the Hoover Dam many, many years ago. And somebody told me that they had a friend that went to the Hoover Dam and they were, they're selling all these little Hoover Dam, what do you call it? Little knickknacks. And yeah, okay, they went to, wow, what a great place. And after about 5 minutes, the guy was bored. He goes, all right, I'm getting out of here. American brainwashing. Yeah, there is a lot of that. Good day, all. What gets me is when Americans who really have only been to maybe Mexico or Canada, they seem to think that America is the predominant place in the world. It's a large place in the world that rates highly, but it's not top dog in everything. It's just not. I hate to tell you this, and I'm an American. Great hospitals like Bumrungrad International, new patients, saw a specialist, went to the pharmacy, in and out in 41 minutes. Try that in the States. Yeah. Bumrungrad is not necessarily the only great hospital, but yeah, it is a very good hospital, and I've been there many times. I agree that people have made Thailand their home. They have a different point of view than the most short timers. What pisses me off is these YouTubers that constantly bash Thailand for views. Well, they bash Thailand. A lot of times they're talking shit that they don't even know about. Listen, there's another site, and I think it's an AI kind of thing. And it got every single video. Why nobody likes Thailand? Why Thailand is terrible? Listen, if I put those things up, I'm going to give you the good and the bad. I like living in Thailand. It's a great place. I mean, I don't want to go back to the States. In fact, if I had to move, I wouldn't go back to the States. I wouldn't do it. I'd probably go to Cambodia for a month, get my head on, figure everything out, and then boom, I'm going somewhere else. All right, let's go, honey. We're out of here. That's what we do. We just take off. Plan B, plan C. That's what we do. And, I may not want to do plan B, but, you got to do it. Okay, so we do it. I definitely may not want to do plan C, but you know what? If you got to do it, you got to do it. And, that's the thing. I've been here for a long time already, and chances are I won't have to do it. So way it goes. And if they raise prices on this and do that, okay, well, guess what? You're out of luck. You either deal with it or you don't. I mean, that's the way it goes. All right, let me get into this. I want to get away from this comment here because that was basically a lot of negativity. Great place to build a career, make money. I'm retired. I'm done with that. What does the U.S. have to offer me? The U.S. is okay, but other places are great too. It's time for a change. Yeah, well, listen, I came here at 32, and that was a long time ago. I wasn't retirement age at that point, and to be quite honest, I didn't know what the hell I was going to do, and it wasn't that way back then. I came here because I wanted the adventure. I wanted to see the world, and you know what? I've done it. I have gone on an adventure. I've been all over the world, and a lot of times not on my dime. I got paid by a magazine. I got paid by a boxing company, whatever it was. I got paid. And so it worked out very nicely for me. And I'm very lucky, very fortunate. You could not do that now. Yeah, a lot. And, listen, say what you will about me. And I'll be honest, when I first started, I thought, maybe I can make a little bit of money at this. Then I started making money. I'm like, holy shit, I didn't know you could make this much money. And then all of a sudden, bam, YouTube apocalypse. Couldn't make that much money. Well, when I first started live streaming, I was making a lot of money. I was making pretty damn good money. Now you see, listen, I got no money, no super chats. I haven't made any money today. I'm not complaining. But in the old days, it was somebody give me $50, $100. Then I get another $20. Then I get another $30. Then I'd get another 100. I made hundreds of dollars in a lot of streams. And so I was like, wow. Oh, so then I was like, oh, I got to go after this. So I did. And after a while, I just realized, listen, it's a grind. It's what it is. Even for the guys they got a certain amount, they got millions of subscribers, they got hundreds of thousands of subscribers. It's a grind. That's what it is. And, you get used to it. Just like in the beginning, I used to get pissed off at comments. I used to get pissed off at people coming into the chat and talking shit. I used to get pissed off about. Now I just think, what does it matter? It doesn't really matter. I don't really care. Is it going to affect my life? No. I had some guy the other day going, you title this way, you might get in trouble from the Thai law. And I'm like, dude, I've been here for how many years? I've been doing this for like 13 years. It's almost 13 years now. I'm not worried about it. If I had to change the title, if somebody Thai came to me and goes, hey, listen, buddy, like in the government said, hey, the title is not really great. You might want to think about changing. I might change it. I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't. But I'm not changing it because some guy comes on and leaves a comment or somebody leaves a negative hey, fat ass. Really? Have you ever seen me? I'm not a fat ass. I can tell you that. I probably give you a smack. I don't know. But all that doesn't matter. And to be honest now, I don't want to title something extremely negative, although maybe every once in a while I make a negative title, but I don't want to do that just for clicks and just to make money. Because I'm not making that much. I can tell you, if I made over $1,000 in a month, I would be like, holy shit, I can't believe it. $500 is a fair amount. I don't care about that. It's nice, but come on, get real. I mean, it's like, are you going to rob a bank for $100? No. Anybody in their right mind wouldn't go into a bank thinking, I'm going to get $500. I think I'll be rich. No, you're not. You're an idiot. Anyway, let me get going on this because I have a little script here that I need to go over. Why I like living here. Let's start with the positive. And a lot of people seem to miss that part. I like the lifestyle. I like the looseness. I like that I can go out, get a coffee whenever and wherever I want, walk around, grab a meal, and nobody bothers me. I like that. I don't have to listen to every political argument under the sun like in the US. I don't even really follow it. I hear it, and I just because I just want to know a little bit about what's going on. And if it's that bad, like I know there's still a government shutdown, okay, they need to fix that. But guess what? I'm not going to do anything about it. I can't do anything about it. Me saying something about it can't do anything about it. So why do I care? Well, I care about the shutdown because it affects a lot of people. But things like that, most of the time, I don't even care about. Why do I care? I live here. I don't live there. And even if I lived there, most of the time I'd be like, I don't want to be bothered by it. I'm too lazy. Maybe that's what you can call me. There is a level of personal freedom here that you don't get back in the United States. You have rules here, but they're not shoved down your throat every second. You're just kind of expected to be an adult, to mind your own business, and to live sensibly, not to start shit with people for no reason. That's what you're supposed to do. Now, listen, do me a favor. I haven't said anything. Please leave me a like if you like this live stream, if you like what we're talking about. Hit the like button, please. You got 20 people that have clicked the like button, and you got 41 people in here. You had 50 something. Um, so people are not clicking the like button. Remember to do that for me, would you? What is this here? My first time in Thailand was 1987 at 27 years old. Was in and out for the last 8 years. Spend most of my time in Thailand, Southeast Asia. I just keep mobile while I'm still able to. Well, I mean, that's great. Good for you. I'm happy you can do that. I did that for a long time, even when I was married in the beginning. And my kids started growing up, and I was like, you know what? I'd rather spend time with them and figure out some other ways to do things. And that's what I did. I stopped going every single city to every single fight, covering fight. I mean, I went on some trips where I went to 4 or 5 countries in like 2 weeks. I stayed somewhere for 3, 4 days, and I went somewhere else, went for 3, 4 days, 5 days. I went somewhere else and just covered a fight. And then I did travel stuff while I was there. You know, I wouldn't say lucrative is kind of, it was hard work. It was hard work because sometimes you didn't get paid for 6 months. Sometimes you got paid in a month. Yeah, of course, I'll care when it affects me. But right now, nothing has affected me. So I don't really care. I care for my family. I care for my friends and what happens there. But other than that, I don't want to be bothered by it because guess what? It causes additional stress in my life that I just don't want. I don't need it. What do I need? I'm 63. I could drop dead, you know, in a day. I could drop dead. I'm gone. Well, then what's it going to matter? It's not going to matter to me, right? Yeah, journalism was hard work, man. It was really hard work because I had to go a lot of places. I'm shelling out my own money. I got to watch the money. I got to figure out all the money. I got to make sure I got enough. I got to make sure I spend it properly. And then I got to try to get the money back. Okay. So some places were very good that would pay you like immediately. Some places would pay you in 30 days, which was great. And some places, there were some boxing magazines that, might have taken me 2, 3 months, which is fine. But then there were others that took like 6 months, and I didn't like that. And, I'd have to hound them about it. Hey, where's my money? Hey, where's my money? And I needed it. Maybe I'm getting, $1,000, and I'm like, that's $1,000 that'll pay my rent and pay for this and pay for that, you know. So wasn't easy. I like the weather here. It can be hot, but you know what I don't have? I don't have snow. I don't have ice. I don't have to shovel my driveway in, say, minus 10 or 20 degrees. I wake up, it's warm. I walk out. Usually I'm in my underwear or my shorts. I walk out. I make myself a tea or a coffee. Usually it's a coffee, and I'm good. Now I have a little ritual. I make my wife coffee because I have a Hario drip immersion switch. That's what it's called. Hario V60 immersion switch. And it works very well. I make one for my wife. I make my coffee. I make one for my kid. Okay, that's every morning. Sometimes I go have a coffee. Now I have told myself that I'm going to limit the number of times I go out for coffee, not necessarily because I don't want to go out or because I don't need to. I got all the coffee I need here. Can make my own coffee. I don't have to go and spend the money. I thought to myself the other day, how much am I spending at the coffee shop? It's really about $150 a month, maybe 125, $150 a month. I'm like, I'd rather have that 150 in my brokerage account, put it in stocks, make money off of it. So, also the food. I can get real food here, and it's for a fraction of what it costs back home. I don't eat processed garbage. I eat fresh, flavorful, inexpensive most of the time food. I know where to go to get it. I have everything is in place. I already know. I mean, it's like I know that grocery store like the back of my hand. I know Bunkaby Market like the back of my hand. I know all these places. I go to another place and I go, I really don't know, but I know how it's set up. I know it's like the other one that I went to from a different location. So if you got a brain here, you can live pretty healthy. And let's not ignore this. Thailand, for the most part, are very kind, very patient, very respectful. There are exceptions, of course, just like anywhere else. But when you've been here for a while, when you've been here long enough, you realize that most Thais are not waking up looking to screw you over. That's not what their job is. That's not what they want to do. Guy wakes up in the morning. He's like, I got to go to work. Bye, honey. Kisses his wife goodbye or whatever, sniffs her. Boom, honey, I got to go. He's out of here, right? She might not even be here. She might have gone to work already. They're not looking to screw you over. Now, maybe in the tourist areas, which is one reason I don't like to go to tourist areas. My wife just asked me, a couple days ago, you want to go to Phuket? I'm like, oh my God, why do I want to go to Phuket? I don't want to go back to Phuket. I don't want to go. Why? For what? What do I need to go to Phuket for? You know, I've been there, God, I don't even know, 50 times. I've been there. I've seen what the change is. I've seen the Russians, I've seen all the people, I've seen, it's crowded in a lot of places, and I'm just like, I can't be bothered. I don't want to go. So, all right, whatever. I don't have to go. I don't really want to go to Chiang Mai. We were going to go to Koh Lanta, and I started figuring out how much it'll cost for four of us to go, even three of us. For us to go for about 6 days would cost about 45,000 baht. When you figure out how much it costs to go from the airport to the pier to the uh, island, and then to come back, you figure out the flights for four people. Now, if it was one person, it would be a piece of cake, right? But okay, no problem. If I want to go by myself, I'll tell hey, honey, I'm going. I'm going to go for like 5 days. Okay, no problem. She didn't have a problem with it, and I do like that you can raise a family here and it's relatively peaceful. I like that my kids grew up bilingual. I like that life here has some sanity and everything is not necessarily about lawsuits, outrage, politics, or money. I got to say, as much as Thais love money, like everybody else does, but maybe they don't admit it, I got to say that most people are not bugging me for money. They just don't. They don't come to me and bother me about, give me money, give me money. You a farang, you give me. I don't have that here. Doesn't happen to me. I go across the street to get some noodles. My dish costs the same as everybody else's. That's all I want. Parity. And do I care that I go somewhere and they say, you have to pay 200, they pay 40? Well, it irritates me, but if I really want to go there that bad, I'll pay it. And if I don't, I'll go, nah, I don't want to. And I've only done that one time. I did that once at the oyster fossils down in the south somewhere. I don't remember where it was. I think it was near the Emerald Lagoon or whatever it's called. And we went there, and I go, it's 400 baht for me to go and 40 baht for you, something like that. I said, honey, I'll wait outside. There's plenty for me to do. I can sit here, have a coffee. They had coffee shops. They had things to shop for. I was like, I'm not going in. And they went in and they were out in like 15 minutes. And I go, you see, it's not worth it. All right, now, many people, they seem to think that Thailand is paradise. It's fantasy. It's utopia. It's the greatest place ever. People think that Thailand is an escape. They think that the moment they land, their problems vanish. And then what happens? Well, their baggage, their emotional, financial, psychological baggage, it all comes with you. Thailand is not a therapy session with palm trees. It's just not. It's a real country, and you have to look at the good, the bad, and the ugly. Corruption, pollution, bureaucracy, dirty politics, traffic. And that traffic can drive you insane. Visa hassles, scams. I just read that Bangkok is the #1 city for scams. And what was the other? What did they call it? Let me see here. Forgot exactly what it is. Pickpocketing and scams. Yeah. Common tourist scams like the palace is closed scam. Oh God, the taxi drivers refusing to turn on the meter. That's a nothing burger. Once you know, listen, turn the meter on. No? Okay, I'm not going with you. Bye. And you walk away. Tour and shopping scams. Scammers may offer special tours that are overpriced and underdeliver. These tours can include stops at gem stores where you'll be pressured to buy overpriced or fake items. You're the only one who opens your wallet. Just don't do it. If you're not looking for a gem when you come here, and if you're looking for a gem when you come here, you need to have some knowledge of precious gems. If you're coming here, you're not looking for a precious gem, and somebody says, oh, buddy, you're going to get a deal on this. It's a special day, no tax today. Just understand it's a scam. It's not, okay, I'm going to give you a deal because I really like you. No, they don't really like you. Come on. If anything is unsolicited, this is what I say. If I didn't come to you asking you for something, leave me the fuck alone. I don't need you to help me with anything. You don't have to help me look at something. And this is the thing about the language. I know the language. I can read the language. I know what it says up on the wall. I know it says 25 baht. Don't tell me it's 250. Always use the meter if you get into a taxi. That's just complete rubbish. And if you're going to book somewhere, use an official booking platform. Unbelievable, these things. It's just. All right. Yes, people here. There are people, even though this is a nice place and I love it, there are people who, if you are stupid, they will take advantage of you if they're given the chance. Now, you want to talk about frustration? Try dealing with Thai bureaucracy when you don't speak the language. Try renewing a visa when immigration decides to change a rule overnight and you don't speak the language. You're not sure about what's going on. You just hear it from the English media. Try buying a car in your wife's name because you may have a problem legally owning one, and then you go through a divorce. And then you try telling me that it's paradise. Oh, it's such paradise. Well, I try to stay away from a lot of things because I know it's going to be a pain in the ass. I didn't go out and buy a jet ski. I don't want a jet ski at my house. Quite frankly, if I rode a jet ski somewhere, I guarantee you there'd be some, with my luck, I bet you there would be someone in the area who would go, foreigner on a jet ski. They'd run into me and they'd blame it on me. That's probably what would happen. So, I'm smart enough not to have to do that. All right, let me read some of these here. Didn't you used to have a lucrative job in Georgia? I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't call it lucrative. You'll care when it affects you. I can't wait to escape. We're both from South Florida. How much worse is the heat? I don't have any problem with the heat now at all. And I did for a while. I wouldn't say that I didn't. I did have a problem with the heat here, but I had a problem with the heat in Florida. I thought, man, it's humid. It's not necessarily the heat, although that has something to do with it. It's also the humidity. Now, let's see here. By the way, it is 32.44 Thai baht to the dollar right now. And let's see here. 80 degrees feels like 94. Air quality is fair. Let me see something here. And no, it doesn't tell me. I'm not looking on my phone like always. Mostly cloudy. A lot of wind. And this evening, rain, and clouds. Tomorrow, partly cloudy. The next day, partly cloudy. Thursday and Friday, rain. Saturday, rain. Yeah. All right. So there you go. Air quality is 37, which is actually, depending on who you're listening to, it's pretty good. I moved to Southeast Asia in heartbeat if my remote job wasn't tied to Pacific Standard Time. Well, you could always do your remote job at night, I guess. I don't know, maybe you can't, but this is the thing. There are still a large number of people that want to live here for all the problems there are. That's because the problems are not quite as bad as you think. Just like, listen, if I go back to America and I go hang out with my parents and we go a couple of places, we do a few things, we go to a market, a couple of markets, we always go to the Asian market, we go to the mall. Sometimes we go down to the Florida Keys, we do these kind of things. I never have any problems. I don't have any of these political problems. I don't hear any of this woke bullshit. I don't go around it. I'm not like going, hey, there's a woke protest. I got to go there now. Kick some ass. Yeah. I just don't. Doesn't happen. I stay away from it. We stay away from it. And that's great. And that's kind of how it is here. Now, I got to talk about something else, but hang on one second here. Let me just see what I got left here. Problem. Let's see. Oh, okay. 3, 4. Okay. Oh yeah. The truth is that Thailand is wonderful for what it is, but it's not built necessarily for foreigners, and nor should it be. It's built for Thais. You're tolerated here. You are not prioritized, and that is the reality. And if you don't understand that, you're setting yourself up for a rather rude awakening. And this is the thing, I don't need to be treated special because I'm white. I don't need that. Just acknowledge I'm here. I'm in line just like everybody else. Okay, no problem. That's all I ask. I don't ask for anything more. People like to say it's cheap, and yes, okay, it is still a lot cheaper than in the West. So for now, you can say, oh well, some things are cheap, some things aren't, but it's getting more expensive, and certain things are going up. Even rents are going up, food is going up, electricity, fuel, internet, they go up. But you can still live decently. But if you think you're going to live like a king for $1,000 a month here, you're dreaming. And in the beginning, I was talking about the guy who was living in a little shoebox and all this other stuff. He said he was living here for about $1,200 a month, and he was not including his visa. He was not including traveling back home or going anywhere. He was not including saving money. He was not including anything like that. Okay. Um, like I said, dental care, eye care. He's not including any of this stuff. In fact, he didn't include internet, the mobile bill. He didn't include any of this stuff. So there you go. Okay, let's say 1,500 now. That's to live a little bit. It's not you're living a fantastic life where you can do whatever you want, go anywhere you want, and you just can't. And somebody said to me the other day, he and his wife spent about 50,000 a month. Okay, you're living out in the country. 50,000 a month is plenty. Another one told me he was living off of 60,000. Plenty. Now, we don't live off of that much here. We live off a fair bit more, but we live in the city. Now, if we were to go back, I was just talking to my wife this morning about um, how I think she needs to save a little bit more money. And I said, if you're living in the South at your house, your bills might be 30, 40,000 a month, and you got everything you need. You have everything you need. You may not be able to go out and buy, Gucci this and Prada that, and go get yourself a nice Rolex or Patek Philippe. You're not going to be able to do that unless you got the cash in the bank. Okay, it's just not going to happen. Don't get me started here. I haven't talked about this yet, but don't get me started on the good girl, submissive woman fantasy. Guys think they're going to find the perfect Thai woman here who will cook and clean and love them forever for just being a decent person. And then they get burned. They lose half their money or all their money and scream that Thailand is full of scammers. And the truth is, you just didn't listen. Maybe you could have listened to me. And a lot of people, they don't listen. I tell them how I think it is, and I say, you better be careful. And guess what? They don't listen. So, you know, you get what you want. Sold condo management. Wait, sold condo management were stealing more than usual. Million baht a year taken from the bank and expenses, column listing it as depreciation expense. Nobody in the complex understood who pocketed that cash. Well, I don't know. Maybe you need to do something about that if you can. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you need to keep a handle on it a little bit better. I don't know. And that's one reason why I don't want to buy a condo. You can live there for $1,000 a month and you can drive a car with your feet. Doesn't make either one a good idea. Exactly. I mean, listen, if that's all you got, I understand you're going to live here better than you're going to live in the United States. But 800, $1,000, even 1,200. I mean, you can get by, yeah. But honestly, you're not going to be prospering and doing fantastically. I just figured some basic expenses over there would be at least 1,500 a month for myself, assuming $500 a month rent. And actually, for somebody like you who just comes over here and probably doesn't know, honestly, doesn't really know all that much, $500 for rent is a pretty good price. Now, what I always say is go get a house, go get a townhouse. Uh, you know, yeah, but you say this, but the fact of the matter is the Philippines, much of the Philippines is a shithole. And the erratic visa, you still have to go out of the country unless you get that 3-year visa or whatever. I mean, what's so hard about my visa? I don't have any problems. Nothing. Not at all. It's not erratic to me. What are you talking about? Erratic? What's erratic? Rubbish. Does anyone in your subscribers understand you can't charge the complex for depreciation? Well, why didn't you watch the money better? Why didn't you do that? I'm just saying. Why didn't you keep an eye on it and look at it and go, what's this? Depreciation. What the hell's going on here? I wouldn't have done that. I mean, I would have looked. I would have been like, what the hell's going on? I would have kept the. You think they're going to be honest, but you always got to make sure that your people, you're looking that they're honest, but maybe they're not. You have to think, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're honest, but you never know. What's the erratic visa policy? Hasn't it been the same? Of course. Yeah, so what's erratic there, phantom of many topics? What's so erratic? The 800,000 you have to put in if you want to get a retirement visa, or the 400,000 you got to put in per year for a marriage visa? What's erratic? That hasn't changed in many years. And you know what's funny is if you have a visa, marriage or retirement, and let's say you're paying 200,000 for your marriage visa because you had it from say 25 years ago. Well, they changed it to 400,000. Oh, I've got to pay 400. No, you don't. If you keep your visa and you don't let it lapse, you still pay 200,000. What is so erratic about that? Please tell me. The Thai tourist visa hasn't changed in 18 months. The O visa has been the same for decades. My 10-year LTR is new, but great. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand. You see, for me, I don't need the 10-year. I don't need to do that. And I would say, don't get the DTV. You think it looks promising. I think it's not very good. You know, you can't get a bank account with a DTV visa. You can't get a bank account. And you think you don't need one, but guess what? You do. Most people need a Thai bank account. Unless you want to go to, listen, I can't even remember the last time I went to the ATM. I tried to complain, then got together and accused me to a court of a theft because I pointed out depreciation at da-da-da, but nobody understood what management were doing. No, the LTR is, well, the LTR is a very, I thought you were going to say DTV. Okay. Um, yeah. Danny, I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, I wouldn't live in a condo, and that's why. Because I just don't trust the people. And most of the people, you think you know them, but you don't really. Even at banks. That's why I don't put a lot of money in the Thai banks. I know I could get a decent studio in Jomtien for 350, but would rather live closer to the action. In Bangkok, forget it. Oh, I was talking about Bangkok. Yeah, in Pattaya, yeah, that's fine. 350 to 500 is fine. I don't personally want to live in Pattaya. That's Pattaya. That's me. I don't want to live there. I don't think it's a great place to live. I'd rather live in Bangkok where I live. Listen, do you guys hear anything? I don't hear anything. Nice and quiet. It's great. Do I really want to go to the mall today? I don't think so. I can go for a little walk outside. Go out with the little cats rather. Go out with the cat, let them out. We'll watch them for a couple of minutes, doing what they do. And then, I'll come back inside. You know, that's why I sold. Well, it's listen, I feel for you, man. Really. Okay. Yeah, good girl. Good girl, good girl. Let's talk about the dirt, literally the pollution, the trash, the poor infrastructure outside of the main areas, and that is one thing. Um, where I choose to live, I didn't think about this, but okay, I'm always thinking about the pollution. I'm thinking, oh, I want a beautiful ocean. I want to, take a little 5, 10 minute walk. Boom, I'm right there at the beach. I can go jump in and go swimming whenever I want. Oh, that's so lovely. Oh, but there might be pollution. Okay, there's no pollution here. Oh, that's great, right? But guess what? If you live out in the middle of nowhere, you're going to have to get rid of your garbage. And the garbage, it needs to be taken out every once in a while. Now, like here, we pay 150 baht a month. That's what we pay. And that also makes them turn the lights on above your establishment, above your townhouse. So for 150 baht, your light goes on automatically and they take the garbage out twice a week. Piece of cake. Tuesday and Saturday. Or is it Tuesday and Friday? I think it might be Tuesday and Friday. I don't know. So that's something else you have to think about. Uh, you don't want half paved roads and wires hanging like spaghetti and people burning trash because there's no waste system. That's not paradise. That's the developing world, and that is how it is in some places here in Thailand. But people don't want to hear it. They want the dream. They want me to tell them that Thailand is perfect. It's the greatest place on earth. And I just won't do it. All right. Now, the problem with many expats is some expats, they just ruin it for themselves. They arrive drunk on the fantasy of women, cheap beer, beach life, and 6 months later, reality smacks them across the face. They run out of money, they get sick, they get lonely, and realize they don't belong anywhere. And then they start blaming the country. And let's face it, if you come here and you are alone, and I did that, I came here and I was alone. But there were a couple of times before I had made any serious friends when I would go walking somewhere to go somewhere or whatever, and I would think to myself, God, I'm alone, man. I don't have anybody here. Nobody's going to back me up. Nobody cares about what I'm doing, right? It just doesn't happen. I mean, I just didn't have that many people. And then slowly I met a couple of foreigners that became my friends. They were good friends. I could trust them. And, I made a couple of Thai friends later on. And of course, I had some Thai girls and there were some good ones. But then eventually I met my wife. Now she's my best friend. And I know I can count on her. She's proved that to me many times over. Um, so that's great, right? But some people, they come here and they're lonely and, they start blaming Thailand that they don't have somebody and that nobody wants them and that they're only going to go to the bar. And the girls in the bar don't want you. They don't care. They don't want to deal with you. They don't give a shit about you. So they say all Thai people are liars. They go on forums and bitch all day, and that's not Thailand's fault. That's their poor judgment. And if you treat this place like a playground, then you're going to pay the price. If you treat it like your home with some respect and humility, it will reward you. And what I've learned is simple. Thailand is easy to enjoy, hard to understand. It's to me, it's like an onion. You peel one layer of the onion, you go, oh yeah, now I understand. And then you go, oh, I got to peel another layer. You go, okay, that's what. Oh, I got to peel another layer. You just keep going. It's like a Tootsie Roll pop. Same thing. You don't need to understand everything. You just need to kind of accept it and stop trying to fix it, to change it, to make it your way. Stop trying to westernize it and stop expecting everybody to cater to your ways, to you. You don't want that. You don't need that. Because once you start doing that, you miss the point. You want to last here? Be realistic. You'll have good days and bad days. You'll love it some mornings and curse it some afternoons, but that's life. It's a roller coaster ride. Let me tell you something. Sometimes I want to go to the mall. I want to get a coffee. I jump on the back of a motorcycle. I set out and it's sunny and it's cool. And I'm looking around and I go, oh my God, this is awesome. This weather is fantastic. I feel great. Then other days I go out and it's blazing hot. And I just go, I feel like shit today, man. Ugh. Go driving along and I'm like, I wish they'd clean this up over here. It's a roller coaster. And I've had moments where I think this place is incredible and others where I think, what the hell did I ever get over here? But the longer you live here, the more you realize it's not just about Thailand being paradise, it's about what you make it. And you can live a fantastic life here if you play the long game, you stay healthy, you live within your means, you adapt and accept that Thailand is never going to be perfect, ever. All right, let me see something here. You get a 10-year multi-entry for 50,000, which comes to 5,000 baht a year. No 90-day check-in. Can open a bank account. Can go through fast track at the airport. Is it true you have to have 800,000 in the first year retirement, even if you make the 65,000? It's not necessarily true. It depends on what the immigration officers say, because some of them won't let you do that. They won't let you have. You can just have the 65,000 a month if they let you. But sometimes they want to see that 800,000. Sometimes they'll let you do it. Sometimes they'll let you do a combination. So I wouldn't say that that's necessarily true, but what do you think of Hua Hin? I think Hua Hin is now another tourist trap, and it's not what it used to be, because I've been to it 30 years ago, and I've been to it 20 years ago, and I've been to it 10 years ago, and I've been to it 2 years ago. And it just seemed like too much traffic. The juice there is not worth the squeeze. I would rather go to, say, Prachuap or somewhere like that. Maybe to a lesser extent, Cha'am, maybe Chumpon. I would rather go there than Hua Hin. That's just my opinion. Let's see here. Thailand has now lost my wife's money past 2 years out of 15. 4 months, lots of spending, but I will try again. Condo complex must be managed by residents, not a Thai company. Why do you want to live in a condo, dude? Why are you so set on living in a condo? Live in a townhouse. Live in a house. What are you going to live in a condo for? I spent a few months in Hua Hin. I liked it a lot. Only downside for me is a 3-hour drive from Bangkok. That's nothing. And the only flights to the airport are two from Chiang Mai. Fresh food, decent malls. Yeah, that's true. For me, it's just I just know what it was like, and I know what I want, and it's just not for me. It's not something I want. And I can tell you that when I just went to Guadalupe just a little while ago, it's an hour and a half flight, and then you wait around for a half an hour. You jump in a van. That was, I think, an hour to get to the pier, and then it was another hour and a half to get from there to the island. So it's going to take you anywhere from about 3 hours, 3.5 hours to get there. So people are talking about, oh, I want to be able to get here and get there really quickly. Well, listen, if you want to get somewhere really good, really off the beaten track where there's not many people and you want to get away and you want to relax, which that's what I want, then you're gonna have to travel a little bit. Thanks, Ben. I've read you can do a combo. Yes, you can. Just like I said, the first year the requirement, it depends. It depends on where you are going to get that. If you're doing it inside the country, outside the country, there's a lot of things that you need to take into consideration. And I would say you're going to have to just try it and see what they say. I would give it a trial run through. Johnny, you can use 800,000 in the bank the first year, but start putting 65,000 in right away. Then after a year, you can use the monthly amount. Ben, do you live here? I'm just curious. I didn't think you lived here, but I could be wrong. House, 49% owner. So Listen, I'm doing a video. I got a video that's going up. It's about how renting is better than buying here. And I believe that. I don't want to buy a house here. Why the hell would I buy a house? Oh, because you'll have equity, because you'll build it up and you'll have somewhere to set. No, I could put that money in the bank. I could put it in stocks. I could put it in whatever the hell I want, and I'll do better. Yeah, you can get complacent anywhere you live. I know I do. No place is perfect. Or house owned by Thai company. Do you trust your wife explicitly? Do you trust her? How many years you been married? I thought you told me, but I don't remember. Saw your Calipe stream. Looked amazing. Emerald green water. Yeah, it was great there, man. I got a couple more that'll go up, but I'm kind of taking my time on. In Cambodia, they took those houses away. Well, good shout. Rent. Rent. Don't buy. Not Thai wife. What? I thought you said Thai wife. And has now lost my and wife money past 3 years. So you're not married to her anymore or something? I don't understand. Or you're not like married in like really married. You just got like a Thai marriage. I don't know. I don't quite quote. I'm not quoting Shawshank. Oh, UK wife. Okay, I understand. Yeah, so rent. Jesus Christ. Don't buy anything, man. God. How old are you? We just holiday. 12 years. We just holiday. Okay. 60. Fuck. What do you want to worry about buying a place for? I don't know, man. To me, I think renting is the better way to go. You can pick up and go whenever you want. You want to go somewhere else, but I'm out of here. Bye. That's how it works. I would do that. All right, let me finish with this. Thailand isn't paradise. It's not hell either. It's just a place. And it's a damn good one if you can handle it. And I live here because I want to. I've built a life here. My family is here. My memories are here. It's home. And like any home, it has problems. And I can tell you that I remember a hell of a lot more here than I do back in the US. You know, I've seen this country change from a wild frontier to a semi modern nation, and I have changed with it. But I've never once thought, you know, I hate this place and I think that the people that say they hate Thailand or Thailand is bullshit and all this other kind, I think they're kind of lying to themselves. And I think it's kind of maybe they're trying to come up with some kind of perfection. Thanks, Danny. Um, Appreciate it. I think they're trying to come up with perfection. They can't get it, so they're delusional. The idea is that anyone here can move here and instantly be happy, but that's not necessarily true. And Thailand doesn't owe you any. I've said this many times. It doesn't owe you anything. You owe yourself the discipline to make a life here work, and that's the truth that many people don't want to hear. And some people look at me and they go, "Yeah, sure, you've been there." Some people question whether I've been here 30 plus years. Yes, I have. I got pictures of me when I was young and I was still fighting and I did all I mean, I don't have to prove anything to anybody, but I've been here for a long, long time and that's just the way it is. And sometimes people go, "Oh, Scott, you're so negative. Why are you saying this about Thailand? Why you say that? Why don't you just go home?" Because I'm realistic and I'm allowed to say something nice about a place and also finding some things that aren't so nice. I'm allowed to do that. And you know what? I've earned the right to speak truthfully. And I see these guys, they've been here for a month or 2 months and 3 months, and I'll give you my expert opinion and my expert advice. It ain't expert, buddy. It takes years to learn this stuff. And I still feel like I got a lot to learn. Okay. Um, but I've lived here long enough to see behind the curtain. I've lived through the changes. I've lived through all the politics. I can't even remember how many prime ministers there have been since I came here. I don't know how many, a lot. There's been people, I don't even remember them. I don't remember their names. Come on. You know, I've lived through the various scams, all the smiles. Oh, the Thai smile. Well, sometimes the Thai smile is not just the Thai smile. There's another meaning behind it. The heat and everything that's in between. And Thailand has given me a good life here. It's not a perfect life, and I don't expect a perfect life. But you know what? Now I live a really mellow, laid back life that I enjoy. If I want, I can wake up in the morning and go, I feel like taking the Sky Train and maybe going over down to the river. And I think I'm going to take the MRT, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to go farther out. I'm going to go someplace I haven't been. Um, and then, I just do it. That's what I do. Now I used to go and bring a camera and take photos and write about it. I used to go to places when I was shooting boxing, and I used to write about it. And then I'd go somewhere maybe close by and I'd write about that place in a travel article. I don't do that anymore. You know why? Because I don't have to. If I want to, I will. If I don't, I won't. You know. Um, so if you can't really see the difference between living here and living here long term versus, say, visiting or maybe being someone who is in transition, well, then I don't know what to tell you. That's on you, not on me. All right. Long distance landlording can be a headache, though, even with a manager. I'd rather be invested in something that pays something than a home that just appreciates. Exactly. NASDAQ plus 23 year to date. Sure, but I'll take the tax deferred. I'm hoping I want to be paid, then use it to pay the rent. Don't store assets in Thailand is my recommendation. Well, I don't. And that's the thing. You see, I could, but I don't. I don't want to. Why? What do I need to? I don't need to. I don't want to invest in the Thai stock market. I don't want to invest in the Thai stock market. Why? For what? I'd rather invest in the US stock market. That's what I'd rather do. Okay. Um, so I still have some freedom. I have bank accounts in the US. You know, I got 3 bank accounts in the US. I really only use 2 of them, but one of them maybe once a year, I get a deposit or something like that. So I have bank accounts in the US. I have a checking, a savings, a checking, a brokerage account, and then I have a checking and a savings that I don't really use much, which maybe I should, but I don't know. And then I have the bank accounts here. And I just updated all my books, made sure everything is proper so that that's what I was going to talk about, so that my bank accounts don't get frozen. And this is the thing. Many foreigners, they seem to think that the Thai banks can't freeze their accounts whenever they want. Well, they don't freeze them whenever they want. They freeze them maybe because um, they don't have current passport information. There are some unusual or suspicious financial transactions. Let's say that you get $25,000 in, and the most you've ever had in there was $100. They might flag that and say, "Hey, what's going on here?" You know, um, they get a request from the government. Now, that's something that they're only going to do if there's a legitimate reason. Or, and this is the big one, you fail to update your personal information, whether that is your passport, your address, your visa status, maybe it's changed. your mobile phone number. If you don't change those things, you don't go into the bank and do that preemptively, well, then maybe they're going to have a chance to freeze your account. So, you know, and this is the thing, all that stuff gets taken care of. When I opened my bank account, they took care of everything. So I don't worry about it. But I don't keep all my money in a Thai bank account because I don't listen. I would keep probably 50,000, maybe 50,000. Usually I don't put more than about 30,000 in the bank, and then it's gone in like a couple of minutes. Maybe I have 5,000 left, and I keep it in there for things like, uh, motorcycle taxis, things like that, taxis, Grab, whatever it might be. It just gets charged right to that account. So it's very small amount of money, but I take the money out, I use it for things, and I use my account back in the US. I transfer money to my account in the US. I use it. It's wonderful. So it works out. Do you use Wise to send your money from the US to your Thai accounts? Yes. Do you have any issues with filing FBAR every year, or do you always keep less than 10,000 combined in all your accounts? Um, do you have any issues? I have no issues at all. I have no issues ever. And I generally move my money around. I don't have to deal with any of that shit. Last thing I want to stick my kids with is dealing with overseas real estate as part of my real estate after I kick it. Pretty sure they would just prefer cash. Exactly. No issue with FBAR and FATCA. You just need to file. Would it be simpler to do all the Thai finances through it? God, my God, you ask a lot of questions. You don't live here either, correct? You don't live in Thailand. Would it be simpler to do all Thai finances through the Thai citizens? Oh my God. Thai citizens account so there is less chance of banking issues? No. FBAR takes all of 2 minutes. Yeah, I mean, I don't worry about any of that shit. I don't have to do any of this bullshit. All of it is taken care of for me. I get it all handled. All right. But as far as would I put my money into a Thai person's account? I know people who do that, and I think it's kind of silly. Always, I don't want to rely on anybody. Listen, my wife doesn't rely on me for the most part, and I don't rely on her. We have an agreement on what we pay. We do that, and that's it. Very simple. This morning she came to me, "Oh, I need a little bit of money. I need a little cash to go to take the boat." And I go, "Shit, I don't have any cash." I was like, "God damn it." And then I went, "Oh, I do." And I had 100 baht. I go, "Here you go. Here's 100 baht." Now, I don't care if I get that money back. I'm not like, "Oh, here you go, honey. Give me my 100 baht back." I don't care. And if I needed it from her, she'd give it to me. But that's about it. I don't go to her going, "Give me 50,000 baht right now." For what? I don't, if I need it, I'll use my own money. You know what I'm saying? So, for all you out there who think I'm not happy or I don't have my shit together here, listen, my shit, first of all, my shit is tight. I don't have to worry about a damn thing. For the most part, if I wanted, I could stay in the house every day of the week. I don't really even know if I even need to go out of the house to get any cash or anything like that. I don't really think so. Um, so, yeah, but listen, buddy, that's a bunch of bullshit. All right. For the most part, that's bullshit. They just don't do that to a large number of people. You just come on here, you never been on here before, and you're just talking smack. Of all the people that I know, one person has had money put in by a scammer, and that was because he let himself be scammed. Okay. Other than that, I don't know anybody, and I know a lot of Thais. I talk to a lot of people, in my day to day life. and they're cracking down on it. And what I would say is now they've got a handle, a more of a handle on the frozen accounts. If your account is frozen, you can go to the bank. This is the thing. You go to the bank, you contact the bank, you go in and you give them whatever documents they want. If you need to, you can ask for written clarification from them. And if you absolutely need to, you get legal assistance to help you with it. But you should not. If once you give them the documents, it's supposed to be 4 hours. Now, that may not always be true because just like a lot of things in Thailand, things operate on something called Thai time. So if it's 4 hours, it might be 4 days, but at least you can do something. Same with my wife and I. She pays certain expenses, I share others. Anything in between, we negotiate. Yeah, I mean, listen, we're talking about going to Guadalupe, and I said it's 45,000 baht. That's about 22.5 each. And I'm like, for a couple of like 5, 6 days, that's too much money. I'm like, we can put that into going to Spain or Greece or Italy. I'm like, to me, that's a no-brainer. My wife's like, well, all right, fine. She don't care. She'll go wherever I ask her to. Believe me. If I say let's go here, she'll go, okay. You know. Now sometimes she'll be like, I don't want to go there. If I told her to go to like, Kenya, she might be like, what? No, I don't want to go there. Now, if I told her I was going to take her and everything is first class, she might go. Might, but I don't know if that's true. So, anyway, so that's enough about the I like living in Thailand subject. But on the banking subject, like I said, I think they are tightening it down. And generally, people who have no reason to have their account shut down can get it unfrozen within a couple of days. Supposed to be within 4 hours, but within a couple of days. So I don't hear that many people crying. I don't hear many people crying about. Let me see something. Let's see here. Mm, Let me see something here. Hmm. Yeah, November. Everything happened around September with these bank accounts, but in November there are far less people complaining about it. In November. All right, what was this? Sam and wife and I. Okay, I pay. I see a lot of YouTubers saying Thailand got a lot more expensive, but everywhere is getting more expensive. Inflation is worldwide, but some is higher in country. I think Thailand is among one of the least uh, the country with some of the least inflation. I think out of something like I don't remember how many, but it was like in the top 10 for the least amount of inflation. And it was like it said 7%, which I didn't realize it was that high. But basically, that was for a certain segment of the population, not including certain things. But most things were like in America, it was like in Australia and England, it was like 30, 40%. There are fresh complaints from experts. Okay. You see, this is September. It doesn't say anything. Most posts don't give an account froze on this day. Yes, as of there is their Thai bank account frozen lockdown is not just a rumor. Some have been doing the thing by the book and still get caught up. But these are older cases, and they're still going on. Consumer price inflation globally projected at 4.3%. Damn it, I asked it for that one thing and it didn't give it to me. Okay. United States, I don't know why they did it this way. It's just not giving me. We'll see in a second here. Trying to find out these rates that I got before. I don't remember where I saw them or where I got them, but I had like a graphic that told me Thailand is 0.7% average consumer prices. At the end, it's 0.9%. Vietnam is 2.7%. Malaysia 2.4%. Philippines 2.6. Indonesia 2.2. Yeah. Anyway, China is going to inflation adjust the LTRB. So I wouldn't say they are. I don't think they are, to be honest. Not that quickly. They don't usually do things very quickly when it comes to immigration, and I can't see them doing that. 80,000 is a lot of money. They know that. And I don't see them doing it for at least 3 to 5 years. So, anyway, that's about it. That's all I got. That's all I have. No more, no less. So, I hope you all like the stream. And I don't know when I'm going to be back, to be honest. I don't know when. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. I didn't know if I was going to stream today, and I just went, okay, I'll stream today, but it might be the last time for a while. So, um, yeah, I don't know what to say. But the videos will keep, they're going to keep going up. So, anyway, that is all I have. So, until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Chok di leo jerken mai, which is good luck, and see you again. Please take care of yourself and be well. And I'll see you when I see you. All right. Take care.